For the very latest on how the EU is reacting to all of this, let's bring in Sonia van Rensen in Brussels. Sonia, the opposition in Belarus is urging EU leaders to reject what they call the fraudulent re-election of Alexander Lukashenko. Is that what the EU is going to do?
Yes, indeed. So people are saying today's summit, gathering of EU heads of state and government, is going to be largely symbolic, and that highest political level is going to do exactly that. They are going to confirm that the elections in Belarus were neither free nor fair. They will ask for the release of all people still unlawfully detained. There are still thousands of prisoners. They will condemn the violence and also ask for an investigation into those people unaccounted for. The main message of the summit will be one to both Moscow as well as Minsk, saying that the EU is following the situation closely and wants to avoid an escalation, a further escalation of tensions, and is looking for a path forward through dialogue to resolve the current crisis.
Sonia, what can the EU do now moving forward, particularly in regard to Russia?
So the EU will probably look to keep its options open today to some extent. It's very keen to demonstrate to Russia that this is not, unlike what Lukashenko is claiming, an EU-engineered plot to somehow bring Belarus more within the EU sphere of influence. This is one reason why EU leaders will probably endorse the sanctions that foreign ministers instigated last Friday, but are unlikely to take them further at this stage or to look ahead to more dramatic sanctions that would really affect the Belarusian economy, for example. In terms of Russia, the EU and Russia are not necessarily unaligned on the crisis. The protests have not been anti-Russian to date. Russia has reached out to Lukashenko in previous years looking for a closer union between Belarus and Russia, and Lukashenko has rejected that. Belarus is very much an independent nation between the worlds of East and West, if you like. So in that sense, it comes down to what kind of successor we might eventually see, and whether that person could maintain a standing between East and West rather than actively looking to become part of the EU, of NATO, and risking, therefore, a situation like we had in Ukraine back in 2014. So what matters here is the geopolitical positioning. That's what matters to Russia. President Macron, Chancellor Merkel, and Charles Michel, the head of the European Council, all had calls with President Putin yesterday. And certainly those calls are expected to be followed up today after the summit. One potential solution is for the Organization for Security and Cooperation, an intergovernmental body, to mediate a way out of the crisis in Ukraine. It all comes down to how long today's council lasts. If it's just an hour and a half or 2 hours, the outcome will be largely symbolic. If it goes on for 5-6 hours, we can expect something more of substance.